And we're very happy to have a longtime friend of the show. We have, as I said, we haven't gotten to talk to in almost 3 years.
Too long.
Yes, he's been having a constant panic. He's been having a constant panic attack since 2019. Here he is, Kristian Bruun.
Solid intro. Panic attack.
Panic attack. You just hate wearing pants.
Pants attacks. I've had pants attacks in the past where I'm worried I'm going to poop my pants, if that's what you were implying.
That's exactly what I was implying, yes.
Great, Great intro from my end, too, talking about poop in my pants already.
It wouldn't be an interview with Kristian if you didn't bring up poop. That's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So how you been?
I've been well. I'm doing all right. Yeah, it's... I'm in Los Angeles. It's sunny. I've got some Toronto posters behind me, little Blue Jays mustache, Hall of Fame. Toronto, always the reminders of home, but happy to look out my window and see some blue sky and some sunshine. And
now you're just rubbing it in. We've had gray skies for a month and a half.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kristian. Thanks. This is why we brought you in here, just to rub salt in the wounds, twist the knife,
It's sunny. I have an orange tree outside my window.
Okay.
Delicious fruit.
Just stop. Okay. Just come on, man. You're supposed to be Canadian. You're supposed to be nice, like the rest of us.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
There we go.
Oh, dear God. Dear God, it's going into freaking stereotypes. Stop making those Americans think we actually talk like that. My God. But anyways.
We do. We really do. Yeah. And it's okay. We should be proud of our accent. I kind of hate that. So 20 years ago, when I was in theater school and university, they were telling us you got to get rid of your Canadian accent. You will never work if you have a Canadian accent. Even for Canadian shows, make sure you have an American accent. And so I trained it out of me. I don't really have it anymore. And it always miffed me that we weren't proud enough of our accent, that we couldn't until you get a show like Letterkenny or something like that, or even Trailer Park Boys that just really leans into it.
Yeah.
We generally just don't allow it to be, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, no, totally, man. Jeez.
Yeah. But that's okay. You've taken it away, and that's cool. We still love you. And of course that has paved the way. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's fair. We didn't say it. You said it. But it's true. But it did lead the way for you to be on, of course, The Recruit, which,
Which I will say another thing about, you're talking about, the Canadian accent trained out of you. I think it's so interesting that you moved to LA in 2018? 2017? 2017.
Although I will say that I split my time evenly between Canada and LA. So much work is in Canada.
I was about to say
half the year I'm in Canada.
You keep getting cast for shows that send you back to Canada, like Carter and
honestly, guys, I love it because sometimes it's nice to get a little break from this country. And I
shocking.
I love Canada. It's my home and I miss it all the time. But I get to go back all the time. So it's great. It's the best of both worlds. Most of my winter seems to be right here, which is no problem, except a couple flash floods that I got hit with a couple weeks ago. But
fun times.
That was crazy. But yeah, it's nice. I get to go home. It's good.
There you go. So of course you play Giannis on The Recruit.
Thank you for pronouncing it right.
Hey, I listen. That's what it comes down to. I listen to the character's name.
Character. On set, other cast members, the crew, the directors, nobody knew how to. There'd be Janice. Let's get Janice. Janus. Let's get him over. Nobody pronounced it right. Janus.
Oh my God, yes, Giannis. Who I will say, how when you're watching an actor and that it was the role they were born to play. This guy is just dealing with so much anxiety that I was like, this is the role Kristian was born to play.
Can I say fuck you on this?
You can say fuck you, yes.
You're not wrong. That's it's more fuck me. You're not wrong. It's a really fun role to play, and when I was auditioning for it, it just felt in the pocket, so to speak, and every once in a while you'll do an audition and you're like, that feels on the nose. Like and that was definitely one of them. Even my friend who I was taping the audition with, I was down here in LA at the time. She was like, "That was really good. That felt really good. I think you're going to hear about this." And I'm like, I don't know. And then it came through. So you know, it's nice to find a character that you connect with.
Yeah, and this one, it was shocking to not see you in your tidy whities. You know, like it was. There was a part of me as the season went on. I was like, I kind of expected it because of the type of character. Just, you know, especially after he got roofied, I was just like, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, this is. I have a feeling this has got to happen. So, you know, but there's season 2, so
there's plenty of time.
Make it happen, bud.
There could be a chance,
ideas, guys.
There could be a chance that Giannis will actually get to leave the office. That would be great.
I mean, I did ask someone in charge of the show. I won't say who, but I was just like, "Hey, so can if we get a season 2, can Giannis leave his office?" And I was assured that he will leave the office. So
that's good.
Fingers crossed that promise comes through.
There you go. We got an email in from Jake W. who says, "Hey geeks, love Kristian." And then he goes on to say, "Hey, don't give away anything for Shrinking, the TV show we're reviewing later. Like most folks, I did not see it yet. Hey to the old man." Is somebody talking about me?
No, no, we're doing other things right now.
Oh, come on now, Dave.
Later, you're later.
Got to give it to people to draw. You know,
yeah.
That show looks fun. I want to see it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, we got an email in from Peter J. who just goes, "Hey."
Yeah.
Nice, Peter.
Good Canadian buy. Good Canadian buy.
Honestly, that really did speak volumes to the three of us, I think. And, you know, we totally understand you, bud.
Yeah, totally. Oh,
yeah.
bud, you know.
Yeah, no, I was going to say is I would like to see in season 2, like if Giannis gets out of the office, I would love to see Giannis and Noah on a mission.
A mission of some sort. I mean, who knows if we'll see Noah? He's been kidnapped. Spoiler alert. Who knows? He's out in the wind. So first we got to get him back somehow. But maybe
Giannis is going out to get him. There it is.
I think. Come on.
I mean, no, come on. That would be amazing.
For Giannis, like for all of his stress and all of his like crazy worries and everything that he goes through, he's good at his job in that he's still doing it. He's been in that job for like 16 years, which is a long time for a lawyer at the CIA. You either burn out fast or you
fade away,
or you get blamed. Something gets blamed on you and you get fired. You take the heat for something and then you go and work at a private firm and make a ton of money. But like a lifer like him, who's completely frazzled, he handles like special operations group, which is, like really clandestine stuff. So they need someone who's capable. At least he may be in the shit right now for the most part, but he's capable. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing it long enough.
Yeah, I would think so. Because again, he's been dealing with black ops for so long. He just knows everything that can go wrong. And that's what he's thinking about. So he just has to think about it far too much.
Yeah. And I mean, there are certainly instances in the show where he's kind of covering up some of his fuck ups. So there's that, or his team's fuck ups more than anything. It's the insane, operators that he's got to work with that are doing crazy shit. And he's just trying to like get them to not be fucking meatheads, So not everything.
That's honestly, buddy, that's some of those scenes where like where your character's yelling on the phone at them, or like let's face facts. Giannis does a lot of yelling. He's a bit of a yeller.
Well, he hasn't slept. Like he's very on edge.
Yeah.
Well, until he get roofied, then he slept for like 16 hours. But
he got a great sleep. But then when he woke up, he didn't feel refreshed.
No, he did not, because he knew he was even worse off. It was really in the shit after that.
Oh my god! So with the first season,
he's a little high strung, sure.
Yeah, definitely. With the first season, the first 2 episodes were directed by Doug Liman, correct?
Yeah.
What was it like working with Doug?
He's crazy. I love him. I've worked with him before. I worked with him on the pilot of Impulse, which was a series that his company Hypnotic, who also produces our show, they did 2 seasons of that back when YouTube Red was a thing. YouTube was trying to become a streamer. And they did this awesome show with an awesome budget. It didn't get enough praise. It was so good. Impulse. And he was great to work with back then. But this time I got to spend more time with him and really kind of get to know him and get to know his style of directing a little bit more. And, you know, he's one of those guys that just has insane amounts of energy, really knows what he's doing. You know, you can see the Bourne style that he, you know, established with that series of films coming into how he shoots The Recruit. You get a lot of shaky cam, a lot of like stressful, like close angles on Noah, and, you know, like a lot of panicky stuff going on. He really shoots that well, and that frenetic energy. And that's kind of him. Like, he just kind of, he's all over the set. He loves to operate cameras, which always makes camera operators nervous when they hand over the camera, and he jumps on the rig, and then the focus puller is like, oh God, I better nail this. I better nail this. Oh God, oh God, oh God. And they're just trying to like nail the focus perfectly. But he's a man of action. He's doing a movie in space with Tom Cruise, like in space, not in a studio he's going into space with Tom Cruise for a film. And, you know, that's him in a nutshell. He brings all that energy.
You know, what I got out of that is I'm just imagining you on set going to the focus pullers, like, as you said, stressing out at that moment. And you're just looking at him going, don't fuck that up.
Yeah, don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck that. I know, Doug.
Don't fuck it up. That's the boss.
Yeah, don't fuck that up. Oh. Yeah. So, like, besides, obviously, that sounds like you had a lot of fun there. You know, what about Noah though? Like, what work? Because a lot of your scenes obviously are with Noah himself. And I'm just wondering what that dynamic was like. Did you guys like get along like right away, or did you guys try to keep yourselves apart? Like, how did that work out?
He is so mean and tough. No, he's like a nice guy. You know, anytime I'm working with a big star, I'm like, okay, just be prepared. Like, I prepare myself for them to be like a Hollywood jerk, like a stereotypical, you know, jackass. And so I was going into it being like, he's like 25 at the time. He was 25, and you know, he's this big heartthrob with a huge following. I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting. And he was awesome. Like, from the hop, he was great. He's super hardworking. He's an executive producer on the show. And for a 25-year-old, now 26-year-old executive producer, he is really good. Like, took care of the crew, always went to bat for them, for the rest of us as well. Even like a little thing, like I came in, they were already 2 weeks into filming when I arrived in Montreal, where we shot the majority of it. And I got there like November 1st, and my apartment that I had rented out, you know, because they kind of give you a moving fee and you move up there for a few months. It didn't have like any knives, and I'm like, I like to cook. You know, I like to make good meals, and we were a good cast. We were always doing like dinners together and you know, feeding each other. It was great, but I didn't have like a kitchen. I didn't have anything to really work with, and I was like, what the hell, this place is supposed to be fully furnished. And like, I met him at a dinner, and he had been filming all day, and we were just, a bunch of us went out for one of our castmates' birthdays. It was my like first night there, and I was just kind of telling the story to the table, and just like, yeah, my apartment's a little rough and I need to like fix it up, and I don't even have anything to like cook with, and blah 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 blah. And he was filming the next day. He was like probably exhausted. And the next day I get a text message from someone on set being like, oh, Noah has a gift for you. And I was like, oh, what is it? And they're like, are you home? We'll drop it off. And like, he had someone go out and he bought me like a whole set of chef's knives, like really good knives for me, so that I could like cook a meal. Like, I just said it in passing to him. I wasn't expecting anything out of it. That's the type of guy he is. Like, he takes care of everybody on the show, and he's, you know, he would host people over to his place, and like, he was just so much fun and so giving. And then in the scenes, he's down to improv and have some fun and bounce stuff off, and like, we're trying things. Like, he was so energetic and so giving as a scene partner. I can't say enough good stuff about him, and I think the crew would say the exact same thing, and everybody else in the cast. He's a total sweetheart, handsome as all get out. I'm 6'1", and I'm used to like looking down. Like leading men are usually like 5'8", 5'9", and I'm used to like looking down at them as I'm like acting with them. And I'm not super tall, but I'm 6'1", and I'm like looking up at him. He's like 6'3", 6'4", and he's in these like suits. He looks gorgeous. I'm just like, that's a star. Oh my God.
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh.
I was awestruck by him.
So obviously, in all your scenes, you tried to make him laugh every single time and ruin every take, right? Like that's what I'm getting from this beautiful story you're telling about him.
He makes me laugh. I mean, he's really funny. He's a goofball.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So you guys have some fun in between takes, just chilling out while you're waiting for setups.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And like we would try bits out, and he was also just a fun guy to hang out with. Like a lot of us in the cast, we would go and do boxing classes together, or we'd go to movies, and like I said, all these like meals. We'd sing karaoke until like 2 a.m. at someone's apartment, and I don't know how we didn't get any noise complaints because we were very loud. He does a good system of it down. He's into it, but we had a great time, man. He's a blast. He's awesome.
That's awesome. So yeah, so with these dinners, what was your go-to meal to prepare?
I think I did something different like every time. I would look up, something on like Bon Appetit or like Epicurious or New York Times Cooking, and like try and cook something elaborate. I did a beef bourguignon once, like a traditional beef bourguignon. I made birria tacos another time. What was the other meal I did? I think I did a shepherd's pie. Like it was winter in Montreal, so we had to get fucking warm food in us, like stuff that sticks to the ribs, because it was fucking miserable last winter. It was so cold there, like insanely cold. And also Omicron was racing through the city like halfway through our shoot, and the whole city shut everything down, so we took a delay, and Montreal had a curfew at night. Like it was just fucking crazy. It was a nutso time. It was a difficult shoot. It was not easy. We were delayed by a bunch of things, and yet we all had a blast together, and we persevered, and I think we created something really fun and really like action-packed and bingeable.
And that's the thing about it, is that it's got the intense, feelings of a thriller, but it also fits in the levity at the right times.
Yeah.
And that's really hard to pull off. Very few shows have been able to do that.
It's got humor. Like you watch something like Jack Ryan, and it's so fucking serious, and it's always like the world is going to end. This is just like a young fuck up lawyer trying to like find his feet at a new job, and he's making fucking dumb mistakes. And he even says it in the show. He's like, I'm 24 years old. I'm supposed to make mistakes. Like he's fine with making mistakes, but that's also Gen Z. I say Gen Z all the time. And like people like give me shit, but I like to hold on to that. Anyways, but he's like that, that's that generation. They're like cocky and confident, but they also realize like, I'm gonna fuck up. I'm gonna make errors. That's part of life. That's part of the process. I go to therapy. Like they're more attuned to mental health and being okay with like not being perfect than I think we are, in a very healthy way. And like the show reflects that. And I think so many other spy shows out there they take themselves so seriously. And this is something for a younger generation in many ways. Like I get, words from people of all ages, but it's a youthful spy show. But that doesn't, pull any punches. Like it's not him trying to be a tween or something like that. He's still in his 20s and fucking up and getting the shit kicked out of him, and having fun at the same time, and trying to find love and fucking that all up as well. And, I think that just makes for a fun show.
Yeah, I like the way you put that, because you're right. I hadn't thought about it from the Gen Z angle, because it isn't Jack Ryan, which I love Jack Ryan, for what it is, right? Yeah. When you want that. This show, like me and Andrea talked about it, we both really like the show a lot. And part of that was that fun and humor you guys are putting into like a lot of Giannis's scenes are very hilarious. Right. Yet when you listen to what's being discussed, I'm like, shit. Because like anybody else goes to work and you have jokers, you're pulling pranks on each other, and that's normal, right? we don't normally roofie a person to knock them out for, you know, a day or two so that you can go and pull off a black ops mission somewhere in, you know, the Middle East or whatever. You know, that's not, we don't have the same level of consequences, what I'm trying to get at, that you guys show on this show, but you do it with a lot of humor, which is a lot of fun.
It's funny. I every once in a while I'll make the mistake of going down Reddit and reading what people are saying about the show. It's always a mistake. And on Twitter, and people are like, "The show is so unbelievable. Like none of this stuff would happen." That's what I thought when I first read the scripts and did all my prep for it. And then like one of our producers, Adam Soralski, I was on set and Adam was there, and Noah was like, "Oh, hey, do you want to go meet who I'm based on?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, yeah. One of our producers, like the show, my character is like based on his experiences as a lawyer at the CIA. And I was like, "Wait, what? What do you, or inspired by, not based on, but inspired by," which is a very important difference, because when you're dealing with CIA stuff, especially as a former staffer at the CIA, you cannot divulge anything. So he was the inspiration for the show, and I was like, "Wait, I didn't know." Okay. And I just like grilled this guy, our producer Adam, and I was like, "Okay, so but when people are like sitting in a boardroom together and they don't want to hear what anybody else is saying about on their cases, and they're like, no actual names of like what country you're dealing with and all this childish bullshit." And he's like, "Oh, no, that's how those meetings work. Like people just say, 'Oh, I spoke to the guy with a thing, and he says that everything's going to be A-okay as long as we come around and help them out on the other issue.'" Like that's all they'll say in meetings with all the other lawyers, because as soon as you mention like Russia or, you know, wherever they are, everybody in that room could now be pulled into like a Senate, you know, subpoena and get grilled about it because they have knowledge of some sort of thing. So all the crazy outlandish shit that it ends up being very funny, I think, at the CIA in the office of the general counsel, that stuff is all real. That's how it is. It's almost like crazy little high school pettiness, what goes on there, dealing with, like you said, like very heavy, important topics when you actually pay attention to what we're talking about. But it's just so crazy that there's a lot in the show that's quite accurate that you would never expect. And I didn't even expect it, even after doing research on the thing and then talking to our executive producer who it's inspired by. It was just mind-blowing.
That's even scarier. Like and funnier all at the same time, because that scene you're talking about in the room, and they're all like no, and they're freaking out and all, and I was just like, I started laughing so hard at that because I was like, this is ridiculous, like you said. But now to say that, you know, like that is actually how they talk, that both does terrify me and make me laugh harder at that. Like that is amazing.
That's the thing. It's sad. It's like, really, when you break down every job in the world, it always just comes back down to high school. That's the sad part. That's the sad part.
The savagery of high school, which is just, you know, basically nature. It's the same thing. Alpha males and betas and people falling in line and the viciousness, you know, that's just nature. It's human nature.
And intel.
The natural world.
Yeah. And the intelligence gathering that goes on at high school. Like I remember those days, right? Like who talked to who's sleeping with who, like who's doing what.
You know.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Were you in the know back then?
No, actually, well, listen, I went to military school in the US, so my high school experience was pretty intense. I went to Valley Forge Military Academy outside of Philadelphia, like half an hour outside of Philadelphia, and that school was intense. I mean, it's like living a military lifestyle, and that's something I would like to do a series on, like write some sort of a TV series based on, because the tales from that place are wild. Talk about how
I gotta say the image of that right now, knowing you is for as long as we have, is mind-boggling to say the least. I can't even imagine you in a military setting.
It's me with like a brush cut and like, you know, in uniform, and everything's on film because it's pre-digital cameras, like the mid to late 90s. So it's
Kristian, you put up pictures online of you in high school. Yeah.
I've
Definitely
got
check it
photos
out
on Instagram. Every once in a while, I'll post a picture of me in uniform playing a bugle or something like that.
See, I just thought those were like roles and stuff. Like I didn't.
I mean, it's a role of sorts.
It is.
Trying to play competence so someone doesn't kick the shit out of you, but yeah, it's a role.
Oh my God. Well, Kristian, I want to thank you for coming back on the program. It's always fun to have you.
Time flew by. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, we've missed seeing you for 3 years, and
I just see you guys don't age, so that's good.
Yeah, no, we got good skin. We moisturize.
Slightly.
That's the key.
There's a little bit more of this going on in here.
Yeah, I got some salt coming in on the sides a little bit and somewhere around there. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah, this used to be like, to be quite honest, like 3-4 years ago, this was all just like dark brown, and now the last 3 years are just I'm like 900.
You're like Daddy Doctor Strange.
I thought Doctor Strange was Daddy Doctor Strange these days. But anyways,
Zaddy Doctor Strange. I don't know what are the terms these days.
Oh well, I guess you would know best. You're good friends with She-Hulk, so it's understandable. There you go. All right, man. Well, it's been great talking with you, man, as always. And I will say, shortly into the pandemic, we got to see Red Rover, and that you were amazing.
Oh, great!
Fantastic film.
Yeah,
I love that film. We made that for $50,000. It was like a tiny budget. We shot it in 14 days. If people out there are looking for a really sweet kind of rom-com quirky film, check out Red Rover. I'm really proud of that one. We put blood, sweat, and tears into that one, and
it's the coolest the Canadian National Exhibition has ever looked, in my opinion.
Yeah, that scene was great. I mean, we shot at the CNE in Toronto without permits. We just shot on the fly, and that was so much fun. I mean, we got some great footage. It looks so good. I mean, they did a great job on that film. That's fun. That one's close to my heart.
Yeah, so people should definitely check that out. It's pretty good. And also check out The Recruit.
Yes.
And of course, season 2, we're looking forward to it, man. We can't wait. And when it does drop, we'll have you back on, man.
I would love that. Yeah.
All righty. Have yourself a great night, man.
You too. See you guys.
Thanks, Kristian.